All right, good morning. It is nice to see you this morning. It is Thursday, and we are continuing our devotions from A View from the Zoo by Gary Richmond, a man that worked at the LA Zoo. And this day's devotion is called The Best Chimp I've Ever Known. And it shows a picture right here. And let's get started this morning. I will never forget Charlie. As chimps go, he was the best. Charlie was the dominant chimp of our collection and, well, loved by any whose privilege it had been to care for him. Charlie was a peacemaker. The Los Angeles Zoo had 8 chimps that formed a cohesive group. They were tight because they had a leader that didn't put up with any monkey business. Charlie spent a good deal of time keeping his group at peace, and that was no easy assignment. Toto and Jeannie were a part of this group. Toto was a former circus chimp and stirred up trouble whenever he could. He would often hoot and scream and charge his cage mates. He would then slap them and with the back of his hand and run away. And then Toto would make dramatic and threatening gestures, and that's when Charlie would swing into action. He was a little lighter than Toto, but had long since established who was boss. Charlie would charge Toto and hold him down and scream at him. Toto would act submissive, and Charlie would let him off the hook. In no time, Toto would be back to his old tricks, but Charlie never gave up on Toto. He tried his best, but Toto was a helpless case. Jeannie was no gift either. She was always on the edge of a fit and very unpredictable. But Charlie was equal to all of his responsibilities. He was truly an exceptional chimpanzee. One day, a decision was made to remodel the very inadequate chimpanzee exhibit. It was also decided that the 8 chimps would be kept at the health center until the remodeling was complete. We divided the group in half and placed them in adjacent cages. I can't remember whether there was much thought as to how we should divide them, but rational or not, our plan turned out to be a disaster. Toto and Jeannie were housed with 2 of the young chimps in one cage, while Charlie was housed with Annie and the beautiful Bonnie and the always affectionate Judy. It should have been heaven for Charlie to be separated from Toto, but that's not how it turned out. The months began to pass, and Toto quickly realized that Charlie could do little more than yell at him from the next cage. Charlie would try his best to govern his group from the next cage, but it was futile. Charlie started to lose a little weight and began to show signs of depression. One morning, we found that our beloved group leader had died during the night. He died sitting up, leaning against the side of the cage, nearest to Toto's group. I cannot describe to you the sadness that descended over the health center. We felt as if we had lost a good friend. We had. He was the best chimp I have ever known. When we performed a clinical examination, we were crushed by what we discovered. Charlie had died from a perforated ulcer. Things had been bothering him a lot more than he had been letting on. Not being able to keep his family at peace had taken a terrible toll on him. One of the problems that a veterinarian encounters is the inability of his patients to tell him where it hurts so that they can be helped. If only Charlie could have let us know, we would have done anything to help him. One of the advantages we have over the animal kingdom is that we can let somebody know we need help. We can point to where it hurts. We can ask for help. God's word speaks to us directly about asking for what we need. Matthew 6:8 says, "Your Father knows what you need before you ask him." Matthew 7:7 through 11 says, "Ask, and it will be given you. Seek, and you will find. Knock, and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened." Or what man of you, if his son asks for bread, will give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, will give him a serpent? If you then, who are evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father who is in heaven give good things to those who ask him? And then Matthew 21:22 says, and whatever you ask in prayer, you will receive if you have faith. Have you asked the Lord for anything lately? You may ask for help if you're in trouble. You may ask for forgiveness if you've sinned. You may ask for gifts like love for others, patience, or wisdom. You may even ask God to help a close friend. He commands us to ask. It's his nature to want to help us. That's what being a father is all about. That's the end of today's devotional. In the comments below, just go ahead and leave a comment about maybe what's going on in your life, where it hurts, and how we can be praying for you. And we'll see you tomorrow as we finish off our week together.